All right, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. A lot of fights to discuss from last night. Adrien Broner, Shawn Porter. Let's talk that fight first. Um, the way I was scoring it, I was giving the majority of the round to Shawn Porter. I gave Broner the second round and maybe one or two rounds after that. It was really hard to get Broner rounds because even though he was consistently landing that left hook when Shawn would leap in, his volume was just too low for him to give Porter real problems. And this is why I didn't think he would win the fight. His volume is just too low. Okay. Um, you can't win a fight when a guy is active as much as Porter was. Okay. He didn't have a lot of clean punches. In fact, I really wasn't impressed with Porter didn't really land any big shots. He landed a shot in the first round that kind of had Broner stunned a little bit, or maybe a little bit off balance. But it wasn't until until like the 10th, 11th round. It was that one round where Porter landed a couple big right hands, where I thought like, okay, those are some big shots, but outside of that, he was just outworking Broner. He didn't really land big, clean punches against Broner. But Broner, you can't give him rounds just landing a couple left hooks and a couple slapping hit left hooks. It wasn't any real clean punching from him neither, and his volume was so low. He would take so long to throw a punch. He was just only trying to counter Porter leaping in, and you can't win a fight like that. Not in my opinion. I couldn't give him rounds. Um, some people were giving Broner rounds. I was looking at my timeline, and people were giving Broner rounds anytime he landed the left hook. And I'm like, I can't give him a whole round when he hasn't done anything but land and touch Porter with that left hook from time to time. So I stopped scoring after like 6 rounds. I stopped scoring because I thought Porter was just winning the rounds. Broner landed a left hook in the believe it was it the 12th round. Was it? It was the beginning of the 12th round. Um, and it was too late because of the holding, and he already had a point taken from him right before that. Broner really didn't have a shot to win this fight. Even with the knockdown, it didn't really matter because he already had a point taken from him. So it went exactly how I planned. You guys see the video. I mean, I wasn't picking on Broner when I thought Porter would win. Broner's volume is just too low, and his power. Even though he knocked down Shawn, and I believe that was the first time Shawn ever been knocked down, even though he knocked him down, um, Broner's power, he doesn't have that type of power, that one punch knockout power. He doesn't have it. He caught Shawn on a good punch, but Shawn got right back up. You know. I knew Shawn wasn't good. I knew Shawn would win the fight. I knew he wasn't going to knock him out like you guys were saying. Some of you guys were saying that he was going to knock Broner out. I think Maidana had a much better chance of knocking Broner out than Shawn Porter did. And since Porter don't have the type of power that Maidana is, he's just as aggressive, but he doesn't have the type of power that Maidana has. I knew he was no way he was gonna knock out Adrien Broner. I mean, come on, man. He couldn't knock out Julio Diaz and a bunch of other guys. He's not gonna knock out Adrien Broner. Okay. And as far as the people that thought Broner was gonna win the fight, I mean, do you think Broner was gonna put on a better performance than Kell Brook? If you thought that, then okay, I understand. But I didn't think Broner was gonna do better than Kell Brook. He's not stronger than Kell Brook. He doesn't hit harder than Kell Brook, and I just didn't see it happening. I couldn't go with it. All right, so as far as what's next, I mean, Broner's still at 140. People still want to see the Matisse fight. People still want to see the Danny Garcia fight, Terrence Crawford fight. Broner doesn't, as long as Broner stop fighting top guys and not just, if the catch weight is not an issue, because it might be an issue for some of his opponents, but Broner still has a lot of fighters that people want to see him fight. Um, still want to see the Matisse fight. Right, I do want to see the Danny Garcia fight. I want to see the Terrence Crawford fight. But As far as a 147, this proves how good you have to beat a top fighter at 147. It's very hard. It's very hard. All right. Besides Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, you still got Bradley. You got Kell Brook. You got Keith Thurman. You got Shawn Porter. You got a lot of guys up there at 147 that are tough to beat, man. And when Broden steps up, and when Danny Garcia is gonna realize it too, it's very, very hard to beat a top guy at 147. That is the most competitive division in boxing today, in my opinion. All right. As far as Porter, should be Floyd. I think he should be in the pickings to fight Floyd next. Keith Thurman, even if he wants a Kell Brook rematch. I mean, I think Kell Brook won, but I mean, it was a pretty close fight. But I would like to see Shawn Porter fight Mayweather. Um, Mayweather, Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley. I think all of those guys should be in the mix for the next Shawn Porter opponent, or upcoming opponent. Everybody wants Floyd, but if it's not Floyd, maybe Amir Khan. Amir Khan should put him in the mix too. Who knows who Floyd is fighting? I'm gonna speak on that more on that on another video. All right, and that's it. That's it. Be on the lookout for everything else. It was a lot of fights, so there's a lot of fights to cover. So be on the lookout for more videos. Check out.